Good morning, good morning, good morning. Greetings and salutations, everyone. This is just going to be kind of random today. I just opened all my windows up. It's supposed to be 75 in the middle of February today here in Missouri, where I live. And for those of you that don't get that joke, I live in Missouri, so we call it misery, because that's what it is. So I kind of wanted to do... It's such a beautiful day today, and for those of you that don't know, who aren't personal friends with me on social media or anything, I have a garden. You know, I rent this house, I don't own it, so it's not like I didn't make like a huge garden, but I have a nice sized garden, and I grow my own food every year as much as I possibly can. I grow my own herbs as much as I possibly can. And I'm going to be documenting it this summer on video. I have documented it in pictures every year on my personal page and everything, but this camera is not flattering me today. My face looks kind of poofy today, don't it? That's weird. Anyway, time of the month, you know. So yeah, I'm on my channel here. I'm gonna be also documenting my garden this year. And if y'all are subscribing to me for the knowledge and the hoodoo, don't be upset about me documenting my garden on my channel, because if you're a real witch, you're going to grow shit. You're going to have a garden. You're going to grow your own herbs. So this will probably help a lot of you that are the real deal when I'm doing this summer and documenting everything. It's going to be 75 today, like I said, so I think I might go out there today and maybe start doing a little bit of work. Got a little bit of a headache today, though, so I don't know. I might, we'll see. It is gorgeous out there. Whew. But in here, where the sun ain't shining, it's kind of chilly, because I just opened the windows, so I'm kind of... Okay. So, this video is going to be a little random. I already made the video called Who Can Hoodoo? Okay, can you hoodoo? Who's allowed? And in that one, I kind of went into, you know, it doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what race you are. It doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. It doesn't matter what religion you are. As long as you know the tradition, where it comes from, you respect its roots and the elders in it, and the traditions, then you can hoodoo, pretty much. This one is going to be called Who Should Hoodoo? Not that you couldn't, but should you, okay? So, those of you that know me in the groups know that a lot of people, you know, ask for help in the groups, and I usually don't reply very much to posts in there. I will if it jumps out at me and the spirit kind of tells me, hey, you need to try and help this one. And that kind of happened last night. We got a newbie, an admitted novice, come into one of the groups last night, and their original post said something like, they wanted a spell for a honey jar, because they have done tons of work on this target and none of it's working, and they're about to lose them, and so it's an emergency. Someone give them a honey jar. And as soon as I seen this post, the spirit, I mean, it jumped out at me, and the spirit was like, tell this person to move on. Tell this person to stop the work. Stop and to cease all work. Move on. This door is closed to this relationship. So I did. I mean, I told him, you know, exactly what the spirit said. This relationship's done, move on, you know, kind of, if you want to do work, put your focus into finding the right relationship now, or doing like a road opener to open your path to this, open the door, you know, to this new path, because this one's closed. And they didn't like that. That's not what they wanted to hear, even though it was the truth. And all of a sudden, I'm a troll, I'm angry at them, I'm this, I'm that, I'm blah 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 blah. People, don't shoot the messenger. Really, don't shoot the messenger. And if you come in a hoodoo group asking for advice, asking for spells and stuff, and you put that shit out there, some of us are going to come in and tell you the truth, even if it's not what you want to hear. You're in a group who are connected with spirits, who are clairvoyants and psychics, or whatever you want to call it. You come in that group and you're asking for shit, people are going to tell you the truth. And you might not want to hear it, but that doesn't make it any less true. Okay? And this guy got real mad, and the more madder he got, the more information came out. There were kids involved in this, with the relationship that he was throwing all this work at. And immediately right there, I told him, you're a novice, you're throwing all this work, there's kids around the target, you know, for the sake of the kids, stop throwing work at this target, at the very least, because work manifests unpredictably. And it can hit everyone around the target and miss the target. And when there's kids involved, you don't want to do that shit. You know, I kept telling him all this stuff, and he would, when it come to stuff he didn't want to hear, he would delete the post. And like more stuff came out. There was drug issues involved. He was actually separated from this person and living in his truck. There was, and then he kept deleting the posts and making new posts because he didn't like what those of us were coming on there and saying was the truth. He didn't like it. He didn't want to see it. So he deleted the whole post, and then he'd make a new post. And we would just come back and tell him the same thing. The last post before he deleted it, he actually admitted to having some mental health issues. Okay, this is a person that should not be doing work. If you're mentally unstable, you should not be doing work, because your work is going to be unstable if you are unstable. To do work, you have to be grounded. You have to have a clear mind. You have to have clarity. You have to reflect before you react. All these things, if you're mentally unstable, no way in hell should you be doing work. And that's why the spirit came to me and told me to tell him to cease and desist all work. I didn't know why they told me to tell him that, but right there was the answer, because he's mentally unstable. Okay, those people should not be doing work. There was another point in this story. What was it? Oh, he also, since he wanted to argue with me, I'd asked him, what work, like specifically tell me, what work have you done? You said you've done a lot of work and it's not working, so now you want to do a honey jar. What exactly have you done? And he came back with a whole list of like work he's thrown at this target from every tradition you can think of. First one he started off was like some Wiccan thing he threw out. Then he went to like Hindu and like did some of that on there. Like he went through like all these traditions on work that he has thrown out. So this is a person that has tried everything else. Okay, they tried the Wicca, they tried the witchcraft, they tried the folk magic, they tried different, they went through, you know, they went through the list and threw a work of each type at this person, and now he's coming to hoodoo because none of that other shit worked. These people should not be doing hoodoo. Hoodoo should not be your last resort. Okay, we got a lot of new people coming into these groups that are just coming in because they're having a crisis in their life. Okay, they've never been a magical person. They've never done any kind of work or done any kind of studying or research on any paths or anything. They just suddenly have a crisis and they think magic's going to fix it. And they run to hoodoo. These are the people that should not be doing hoodoo. I still can't remember what I wanted to say. But those are, anyway, two types of people who should not be doing any kind of magical work. If the worker is unstable, if their head and mind is not clear, and I've done this on other videos where I said, like, is it worth it? You know, you got to be really sure about what you're doing. These are people that should not be attempting to do any kind of work. These are the people that just fuck shit up. And they probably don't have the intention to fuck shit up, but they're going to fuck shit up. Just like that guy last night, throwing all this work on a target with kids around them. I almost wanted to, like, do a work for the kids, like, to protect them from what this guy's doing. Because it's going to blow up. And it's going to blow up bad. And they are probably going to be the collateral. Because you can't predict this shit, man. And anybody that fucking tries to predict this shit is crazy. Even if you've done the same work, like, many times, okay? And each time it's going to manifest a little differently. It's never going to manifest the exact same way every single time. But that's kind of a predictor of what's going to happen when you do this work, okay? This is why I said last night, we are the experimenters, we are the alchemists. And you have to do this to figure out what's the right way to do it, what works and what doesn't work, okay? There's one time that you might do that because so much of it depends on the target as well and the spirits around that target and what's going on with the target. So you could throw a same work, like say you have a tried and true work for reconciliation and love, okay? And you've done that work a whole bunch of times. And each time it's worked and it's like kind of manifested in this way, or maybe this time this also happened with it, but it's always worked, like, and you can kind of predict the way it's going to work, maybe how long it's going to take, and still you can't predict that. And if anybody gives you an exact time frame on when something's going to work, don't ever talk to that person again and go find another worker, because nobody can predict the time frame. That is up to the spirits, not the worker, okay? You can't predict how long that's going to take. Some shit can manifest overnight, if it's supposed to. You know, some shit can take years to manifest. Some shit can take months. And there's no predictor. Even if you're doing, like I just said, you're doing the same work, like you've done it a couple times, and like each time it's taken about the same frame time to manifest. It's not going to be that way every time, because a lot of it depends on the spirits, a lot of it depends on the target. So it's unpredictable. And one time you're going to throw that work out, and it's going to manifest in a completely different way, and it might even blow up in your face. It's very unpredictable. And you gotta... I just can't for the life of me understand why someone is throwing 500 works. And that's another thing, man. You do a work on a target. You do one work on a target. You give it time to manifest and work. And if it doesn't, like after 3, 4, 5 months or something, maybe think about doing a different work. But just flinging work after work after work after work on one target, it's called overkill, okay? There's a word for that. It's called overkill. And all that's going to do, at the very least, is confuse the target, okay? The target is way not going to do what you want them to do, because they're getting all bombarded with all this shit. And it's just going to confuse them and fuck them up. And what you want to happen ain't going to happen anyway. If you're just flinging all this mad craziness and all these different works at one target, you're just going to confuse the fuck out of them. Now, this is for something like if it's for love or reconciliation or, you know, that kind of stuff. Do one, okay? You do one, and you give it time to manifest. You don't fling a whole bunch because, oh, this one didn't work in 3 days. I got to do another one. I'm going to do another one now because it didn't work in a week. And I got to do another one. You're just going to fuck that target up, man. And this shit is so unpredictable. I have seen many times, many times, work hit everyone around the target and leave the target untouched. Because especially during malicious work, if you hurt the people around the target, that actually hurts the target a lot more. Like, if they're losing loved ones. If all their family is sick and ill and, you know, they got to take care of them. Or like, you know, a lot of times hitting around the target and not actually hitting the target is the way work manifests. Okay, so if your target has little kids, you better be goddamn good with your aim, man. And even... that's still unpredictable. Who can predict the spirits? I can't predict the spirits. I don't know anyone that can predict the spirits. Do you know anyone that can predict the future? And I don't care if any psychic comes out here and says they can predict the future. They can't fucking predict the future. I don't care how good they are. So this shit is unpredictable. It manifests in unusual ways all the time. I have never, not once, had a work manifest in the way I intended it to manifest. It still works, but it works in a way that I would have never thought of. For example, some of you might know, like back in October, November, I was doing a prosperity work. I was actually doing... my cat is tearing this rug. Get out of there. Boy, he's wound up. I was doing a prosperity work. Because I needed a new cell phone. My cell phone is like going bad real quick. I needed to get a new phone. And I have to like straight out buy my phone. Like pay the full price for it. I don't get, you know, payment plans and shit like that. So I had to come up with a large amount of money. For me. I mean, for some people it might not be a large amount of money. But for me, I had to come up with a large amount of money to get a new phone. So I was working a prosperity work for 3 months. And it was the first one I ever did with a specific amount attached to it and a due date. I never put that shit on my works before. Because like I said, it'll manifest when it's going to manifest. I don't try and make it manifest by a particular date. But at this time, like the phone I wanted was like on sale, and I'm like, I gotta get it before the sale runs out, you know, or I'm gonna have to pay even more for it and everything. So I put a due date on this work that I needed this specific amount of money by. And I worked on it daily for 3 months. The due date came. And when the due date came, I only had a little over half of the amount that I had asked for and that I needed. And I was like, oh shit, this didn't work. God damn it, I ain't getting a new phone. And the whole work was for a new phone. Okay, and my spirits knew that. They knew why I needed the money. They knew why I was doing the work. The whole goal of the work was to get a new phone. And I needed this exact amount of money by this date to get a new phone. So the date came, and I only had a little over half of what I needed to get the phone. And I was like, oh shit, this didn't work. This didn't work. And couple days later, my income came in, and I wound up having the full amount, but I didn't want to take that much out of my income for the month, you know. So I went back to the website where the phone was, and they had actually knocked the phone off even more. Like, instead of $100 cheaper, it was like almost $200 cheaper. And with that happening, I was actually only short like $100 of the large amount that I needed. And I had no problem taking that out of my monthly income and putting that in with the rest that I had and getting the new phone. So in the end, the spell did not manifest the way I intended it to manifest. I intended for this money, for this phone, this exact amount to come to me by this date so I could get a new phone. But in the end, I still got the new phone. So, yeah. Did it work or didn't it work? It just manifested in a strange way. And obviously the spirit thought that I was supposed to put some of my personal income into getting that new phone. Because when you do that, you take better care of it. Okay, if it's money that's just coming into you from other places or this and that, if it's someone else's money and you didn't work for it and you didn't, you know, put your own shit into it, then you're not going to respect that object, okay? When you got to put your own money into it and it comes out of your pocket too, you're going to be more careful with it, okay? You're going to respect that item more. So I think that's why, in the end, I had to put a little bit of my own income into that. But it wasn't a whole lot, and it, you know. So yeah, I mean, that's just an example of mysterious ways that shit can manifest. Like I said, I don't think I've really ever had a work manifest in the exact way I thought it would, or that I intended it to. But in the end, it always works. I honestly don't really know of anything I've done that hasn't worked. I don't know, unless it's something like, see, I'm thinking way back now because I've been doing this a long time, guys. Unless it's something that I wasn't supposed to have or it wasn't meant for me. At the time, I probably thought that shit didn't work. But looking back, and you guys, when you get older, man, you youngins, you don't have the discernment to look back, okay? And I've been telling everybody this in the groups that, you know, everything happens for a reason, okay? Everything happens for a reason, even if you don't think so. Even at the time, it's a freaking tragedy, and you lose your love, and your heart's broken, and it's the most worst, terrible thing that's ever happened to you. Even if you lose your job, and they take that away from you, everything happens for a reason, and it's usually because there's something better for you up over the hill that's coming. And in order to have that new good thing, you need to get rid of this old thing. Okay? And people, at the time, you don't understand it. I didn't understand it, and I still don't understand it. Sometimes this shit happens to me. I'm like, why does this happen to me? Later, when you look back, you'll understand why that happened to you. Because if that wouldn't have happened, then this wouldn't have happened. If that wouldn't have happened then you wouldn't be where you are here now. You know, everything happens for a reason. Spirits don't just take shit from you to be mean. Unless someone threw like a fucking hex at your ass. Maybe then some shit's happened to you because it's fucking mean. But like 95% of the time, spirits don't take shit from you to be mean. They take it from you because you gotta clear out that old shit so you can have this new, shiny, good shit that's coming up over the hill that you can't even see yet. And when you guys get older, you'll know that, man. You can look back And you think, man, this was a terrible time. But then you think, wow, if this wouldn't have happened, then this wouldn't have happened, which wouldn't have led to this happening, which wouldn't have put me right here, right now, doing this shit. I mean, everything happens for a reason. You guys got to really trust in your spirits, man. Trust in your spirits and know that they know better than you do what's good for you. And that's a hard lesson. That is a hard, hard lesson to learn, boy. That is a hardie. Even for me, that's a hard one. Especially when there's something you want really bad. And they're blocking you. They're blocking it from you. And you want it so bad and they won't let you have it. Obviously, there's a reason why you shouldn't have it. Okay? Or maybe you're supposed to have it, but you're not supposed to have it at this point in your life. Okay? Like, there is a path that I am really interested in. And in my other videos I've said, I have studied multiple religions. I've kind of made it like my life's work to study different religions. And I've never found one that wasn't flawed. I never found one that I was like, damn, that's the one, man. I never found one that I wholeheartedly agree with. I find flaws in every single one of them. So I have never been able to choose a path. Okay? Because any path I look at, I find a flaw. And I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like this. This doesn't look right. I found a path now. I finally found a path that I wholeheartedly love. Okay? And that I want. And I want it really bad. Like, after all these years, I found a path that I want and that I love and that I haven't really found any flaws in. And my ancestors are blocking me. They're standing up and blocking the path. Even though I have the path, they're blocking me from it. And I was so mad. Oh man, I was so mad at my ancestors. Even though I was trying really hard not to be mad, because I know anything that they're doing for me is for my own good. Okay, I know this. But in my heart, I wanted it so bad. Oh my God, I cried over it for months. And I've been nothing but talking to my ancestors for months. And trying to figure out what needs to be done. How can I get them to step down and let me follow this path? And everything. And I finally just received some good communication from my ancestors. And they told me 1 year. And it was a 1-year harvest. And when I met this practitioner of this path that I love, it was at harvest time. And this harvest will be 1 year from that. And from when I was denied. So obviously in this year, there's something I gotta learn. There's some growing and learning I gotta do to be ready to do this path. I'm obviously not ready for it. Or they wouldn't be blocking me from it. Okay, there's something I need to do within this year. There's something I need to learn and progress on and elevate on within this year, that by next harvest this year, that path might be open to me. And I'm really excited about that. So, yeah, always trust in your spirits, man. Even if you don't understand it, just know in your heart that they have your best interests in mind. Okay, and they're not going to do anything to hurt you. So yeah, I have to end my videos now. I timed it at exactly 33 minutes. At exactly 33 minutes, I know some of you have noticed in my previous videos, the audio starts getting fucked up. It doesn't match up, like my voice doesn't match up with my movements and everything. And that happens at exactly 33 minutes. I don't know why it does, but it does. So I got to start trying to make these videos shorter than 33 minutes. So yeah, if I go out in my garden today and do some work, maybe I'll take the camera with me and start filming the work on the garden and everything that I'm going to do this year. And hopefully I'll help some of y'all out. So that's it. Like, subscribe, and share.